Being a world leader is a tough gig. You've got a whole country to look after, meetings that could reshape the globe, and the constant threat of someone trying to take you out. So it's no surprise that some leaders take security very, very seriously. We're talking next-level Fort Knox on wheels, more protection than a Kardashian at Coachella levels of security. Today, we're diving into the world of presidential protection, exploring the tightest security details, the most impressive motorcades, and the sheer manpower dedicated to keeping these VIPs safe from harm. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride.
First up, we're heading to Turkey, where President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan isn't taking any chances. This is a man who reportedly has a personal bodyguard unit of around 60 individuals.
When Erdogan's on the move, things get really serious. We're talking about a security detail that can swell to over 1,000 personnel, including snipers strategically positioned on rooftops.
And let's not forget about his motorcade. We're talking a convoy of armored vehicles that would make a tank battalion jealous.
This thing is essentially a rolling fortress, complete with jammers to block explosives and enough firepower to repel a small uprising. If he ever gets tired of the limo, he can always call in one of his helicopters or hop on his luxury yacht, both of which, you guessed it, are equipped with enough security measures to make James Bond blush. So there you have it, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, the man who's turned personal security into an art form.
Next, we're crossing the border into India, where Prime Minister Narendra Modī has his own impressive security setup.
Modi's annual security expenditure is a cool $48 million. That's enough to buy a small island or fund a small country's entire military for a year. But hey, who needs a balanced budget when you've got the Elite Special Protection Group, or SPG, watching your back? These guys are the best of the best, hand-picked from the Indian Armed Forces.
And when Modi's on the move, he's not messing around. Forget about your average motorcade. Modī rolls in a convoy of heavily armored vehicles.
We're talking bulletproof glass, bomb-resistant chassis, and enough countermeasures to make a Bond villain jealous. These guys are with him every step of the way, literally. They even reportedly taste his food before he eats it. Now, some might say that this level of security is a bit excessive, even for a world leader. But hey, when you're the leader of the world's largest democracy, you can never be too careful, right? Plus, it's not like Modi's security detail is hurting anyone. Well, except maybe the poor soul stuck in traffic behind his massive motorcade.
Now, let's shift gears and head over to Guinea, where we meet Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, a man who took power in a coup.
But here's the thing about Doumbouya. He's not your typical coup leader. This is a man who understands that when you seize power in a somewhat unorthodox manner, you better have a damn good security team. Enter the Special Forces Group, Doumbouya's very own Praetorian Guard. These guys are the elite of the elite, handpicked from Guinea's military for their loyalty and ability to neutralize threats.
And these guys don't mess around when it comes to equipment. We're talking about the latest military hardware, from high-powered rifles to armored vehicles.
But what really sets Doumbouya's security detail apart is their unpredictability. He's constantly on the move, making it nearly impossible for anyone to predict his whereabouts. This element of surprise, combined with the Special Forces Group's unwavering loyalty and impressive firepower, makes Doumbouya one of the most well-protected leaders in Africa. Now, whether you agree with his methods or not, you have to admit the man knows how to stay alive. And in the often volatile world of Guinean politics, that's a skill that's worth its weight in gold. So, there you have it, Mamadi Doumbouya, the coup leader who proved that sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to dive into the high-stakes world of Saudi Arabian security, where Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS as he's known, reigns supreme.
Now, MBS isn't just any leader. He's the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, a country with more oil than you can shake a stick at, and a history of dealing decisively with dissent.
So, it's no surprise that MBS has taken security to a whole new level. We're talking about a man who essentially controls Saudi Arabia's entire military and security apparatus.
At my disposal, I have a vast network of intelligence agencies, special forces units, and enough military hardware to make even the Pentagon a little envious.
But MBS doesn't stop there. He's also rumored to have a personal army of thousands known as the Saud al-Amn, which translates to Guardians of the House of Saud.
These guys are fiercely loyal to me and are reportedly trained to handle any threat, from assassination attempts to full-blown coups.
And let's not forget about his palaces. These are fortresses, complete with state-of-the-art security systems, blast-proof walls, and enough guards to make Buckingham Palace look like a walk in the park. Next, we're traveling to the world's most populous nation, China, where President Xi Jinping runs a tight ship, both figuratively and literally, when it comes to his security.
At the heart of this operation lies the Central Security Bureau, or CSB. These guys are the unsung heroes of Chinese security, responsible for everything from protecting top officials to, well, let's just say they have a wide range of responsibilities.
But the CSB is just the tip of the iceberg. Xi Jinping also has the unwavering support of the Central Guard Unit, his personal Praetorian Guard.
These guys are the best of the best, handpicked from the People's Liberation Army for their loyalty, discipline, and of course, their ability to take a bullet for the big guy.
And when it comes to public appearances, Xi Jinping's security detail really kicks into overdrive. Remember his visit to Hong Kong? It was like something out of a dystopian sci-fi film. Streets were cleared, buildings were locked down, and snipers were perched on rooftops like pigeons with a particularly intense gaze. But hey, when you're the leader of a country as large and complex as China, I guess you can never be too careful. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the secretive world of North Korea, where Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un rules with an iron fist and an even more ironclad security detail. When it comes to personal protection, Kim Jong-un doesn't mess around. We're talking about a level of security so intense, so over the top, that it would make even the most paranoid dictator blush. At the heart of this operation lies the Supreme Guard Command, an elite unit of soldiers handpicked from the cream of the crop of the Korean People's Army. These guys are the best of the best, trained to anticipate and neutralize any threat to their beloved leader. But it's not just about their skills, it's about their unwavering loyalty. These soldiers are reportedly subjected to rigorous ideological indoctrination, ensuring their absolute devotion to Kim Jong-un and his regime. And when Kim Jong-un travels, well, let's just say it's not your average presidential motorcade. We're talking about a convoy of armored limousines, often Mercedes-Benz, because even dictators have a taste for luxury, flanked by dozens of bodyguards who run alongside the vehicles. Yes, you heard that right, they run. It's a bizarre sight to behold. These highly trained soldiers jogging in formation, their eyes constantly scanning the surroundings, ready to take a bullet for their supreme leader. Kim Jong-un also has a fleet of private jets at his disposal, each one equipped with advanced countermeasures to thwart any potential attacks. And let's not forget about his personal residences. These are sprawling compounds, complete with underground bunkers, hidden escape tunnels, and enough security personnel to rival a small army. Now let's hop across the Pacific and head back to the good old US of A, where former President Donald Trump, a man who needs no introduction, also had a penchant for tight security. And when I say tight, I mean we're talking about a security bubble, so impenetrable, so meticulously crafted, that it would make even the most seasoned Secret Service agent break a sweat. First off, let's talk about the Secret Service. These guys are the unsung heroes of American presidential protection, putting their lives on the line every single day to keep the Commander-in-Chief safe from harm. And they take their job very, very seriously. We're talking about highly trained agents with nerves of steel, lightning-fast reflexes, and enough firepower to make a small army jealous. But the Secret Service is just the tip of the iceberg. When it comes to Trump's security detail, let's not forget about the Beast, the iconic presidential limousine that's more tank than car. This thing is a fortress on wheels, complete with bulletproof glass, bomb-resistant armor, and enough countermeasures to make James Bond jealous. It's even rumored to have a supply of the president's blood type, just in case of an emergency. But all this security doesn't come cheap. In fact, according to some estimates, Trump's security detail cost taxpayers a whopping $120 million per year. Now, some might say that's a small price to pay for the safety of the most powerful person on Earth. Others might argue that it's a bit excessive, especially considering that Trump spent a significant amount of his presidency at his own properties, which presumably already had their own security measures in place. But hey, who am I to judge? When you're the leader of the free world, I guess you can never be too careful. So, there you have it, a glimpse into the extraordinary world of world leader security. From high-tech gadgets to elite soldiers, these leaders spare no expense when it comes to staying safe. But it does make you wonder, at what cost? Is all this security really necessary, or is it just a symptom of a larger issue, a growing disconnect between those in power and the people they govern? It's a question with no easy answers, but one thing's for sure. The next time you see a world leader surrounded by a phalanx of security guards, remember this video and ask yourself, at what cost?